grace. How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. I'm speaking from my heart. And this really has to do with 25 years ago and me. But at any rate, this has just been such an honor to be a part of this family. It's just wonderful to have you all here. And we want to acknowledge God's grace and goodness as a husband and wife. And the gift of all you family and friends to be here, it's very impressive. Just a couple of notes here. We are here also today because God answered the prayers of a praying friend. Kay, right? You want to tell the story?
I went to church one Sunday morning and went into the ladies' room, and a friend there named Kay Werner at the time, she has a different last name now, and she said, how we exchanged pleasantries. How are you? Fine, thank you. How are you? And she says, well, I've been praying for you. And I said, great. She said, why? Is anything wrong? No, but I know that if you're praying, it's good. And she said, well, I'm praying that the Lord would give you a husband. And I said, you are? And she said, aren't you? And I said, no, not really. I said, I didn't ask to be in this situation, but I'm content with where I am. And she said, well, not only am I praying that the Lord would give you a husband, but I'm praying that the husband would be a minister. And I said, you've got to be kidding. I said, if I ever remarry, I want somebody who sits in the pew with me on Sunday mornings, who works like 9 to 5 and all this, because I was used to a husband being gone all the time. Well, as she walked out of our wedding, I told her that next time she tells me she's praying for me, I'm standing clear.
It's an amazing bunch of stuff. Our anniversary isn't actually until the 13th of October, and the reason why we decided to have it today was that Christy and John were in town for Christy's 25th anniversary of her high school graduation. So all of this happened 25 years ago, and a lot of it just came together for this weekend. And we decided to celebrate our 25th anniversary instead of our 50th anniversary, because if we waited until our 50th anniversary, I would be 91 and she would be 95. And we might not have as many of you around, and if we did, we might not remember why we're here. Yeah, so our wheelchairs and walkers, a lot of that. In 25 years, all of our parents have gone to heaven except for Vickie's stepmother, Joyce. So a lot has happened in those 25 years. Vickie's sister, Marilyn, also went to heaven. Brian and Chrissy both got married, and we've had the addition of 2 grandchildren, Avery and Emma, and both of them are with us today, and that's a great honor. We've had 2 sisters-in-law added to our family, Vita, who was not able to be here today, and Lisa. Lisa's right there. Okay. So that's all changed in 25 years. 2 great nieces and nephews, Natalie and Jack and Ben, and Christopher, Nicholas, Keith, and Sarah, and Keith is right here. So all of those came in the last 25 years. Some occupational changes. I left Bethany Lutheran Church in Fairview Heights after serving them for 22 years. For the last 15 years, I've been a doctor at Memorial Hospital, although not a real doctor. I do have a doctor's degree, but not the one they're looking for. I also began as assistant pastor at Jerusalem Lutheran Church in Collinsville. Now I'm the pastor. At Jerusalem, you have to be the assistant for 14 years before you can become the pastor. And Vickie retired in March 1999. I can remember it vividly. She told me, the kids have graduated from school, the mortgage is paid off, you pay the bills now. And I have been.
Something to that effect.
Or something to that effect. Other things that have happened. And I just want to mention one thing that I think is kind of funny, but I also take it kind of serious, and I'll explain it to you. During the 25 years we've been married, Vickie has broken 1 arm and 2 legs in 2 different accidents. And interestingly enough, Avery was with us both of those times. He had nothing to do with it. He was just with us. The second time she got hit by a car. It was backing up at a Walgreens by a lady who had a neck brace on, and she said she was looking, but apparently didn't see her. And she broke an arm and a leg, and that happened in early summer. I think it was June, and that pretty much canned our summer. And I can remember rolling her into the emergency room at the hospital and her turning around and saying to me, now we're going to find out what this better for worse, richer for poorer, sickness and health is all about. And I appreciate it. In some ways, going through that summer taught me personally how much my life is tied to hers. And being a caregiver, and I know my brother has been a caregiver to his wife for years and years and years, but it was just an honor and privilege to be there. A lot of other things. Traveled out of the country. My mom took Vickie on a trip to Norway in England in 1993. She went with her daughter-in-law, not with her son or daughter.
I took her to Hawaii.
Oh, that's right. You took her to Hawaii. All right. Well, anyway, it was really cool and a good opportunity for them. A couple of other things. We, the two of us, and Christy got a chance to go to Germany in the year 2000, and that was a great honor. And 4 years later, the three of us also went to Lithuania to do a little bit of background and spending some time with family members and all of that, and that was in 2004. What a good opportunity that was. Met a lot of relatives. And I want to thank God for the doggies in our life. Bear, Schultz, Shadow, and Cubby. And Cubby has become an addition in this last year because our friend Lorraine died and left us her little Cubby, her little poodle as a bequest. So now we have a dog again after not having them for a year. We want to acknowledge today our children and families. Brian and Avery, Christy, John, and Emma are all here. And I'm happy that Sharon, my sister, and Keith are here also. That's her grandson. Let's see. Don and Lisa are here. That's Vickie's brother and sister, and our sister-in-law. Let's see who we have. Mary Beth and Rich. They're here. They're our niece and nephew. We have people who are not here. Well, Bill was here. Bill and Vickie were here. Yes. Well, I want to make sure I'm getting this straight. You're the one who wrote the script. Okay. We feel bad that Craig and Minnie, that's Vickie's other brother, and our sister-in-law were not here, and their sons. And also, as I mentioned, my brother Bill. We're happy that Aunt Betty and Uncle Marty are here. Aunt Betty really is the last member of our family from that generation. So, pay close attention to her and treat her nice. And she's Lithuanian on top of that. And then many cousins. We're thankful that Jan and Joanne arrived from Atlanta and from Austin, Texas, and we've had some good time with them the last couple of days. And it would be always appropriate, anytime, honestly, when Pastor Alvin Coleman is here to acknowledge his presence. Golly, this guy has been our pastor forever, and Vickie's boss forever. How many years has he been a secretary?
1981.
She's been Pastor Coleman's secretary since 1981. And thank you, Pastor. Got some great neighbors. We're so happy to have them with us. So there's a Scuda connection, a lot of connections to our friends from Jerusalem Lutheran Church. They're here too. Some longtime friends and neighbors from Florissant, and just a whole bunch of other people from Zion. Paul and Susan Miller are here from Unity Lutheran School. So if you want to talk more about them, about one of the two fundraising things we're trying to do as a part of this, we didn't want gifts, we just wanted gifts to those two agencies. The other one, Dave and Barb Anderson, they're the ones who run Shepherd's Canyon in Arizona. good opportunity to be able to contribute to a ministry that basically involves taking care of pastors and their wives, church professionals who run into the point where they've just kind of hit the wall, and giving them an opportunity to have some regrouping. Some longtime friends in Vickie's case that go right back even to grade school, including her best friend, Darlene, who is here.
And Bob's from 6th grade too.
Bob's from 6th grade too. That's cool. You want to tell them the story about meeting Darlene and her reservations about you?
Darlene should tell him.
Go ahead.
We moved from Collinsville to Belleville in 1956, and I started 6th grade and met Darlene, and she went home and told her mother that this little blonde-haired girl was there. She said, but I don't think we can be friends because I think she's Catholic. And we were Lutheran, or she was Lutheran, well, we were, but she didn't know it. I came from a school called Holy Cross, and she had never heard of a Lutheran church or school named Holy Cross, and so she assumed it was Catholic. She said, I don't think I can be friends, and the next Sunday, she saw me at Sunday school, so we've been friends ever since. And her daughter is here, and I'm Amy's godmother. And I have to introduce one more person.
And I have a couple more people myself.
I have to clarify.
Well, I understand that.
Oh, sure.
Oh, all right.
In your old age. I know it's hard. This is Wayne and Helen Price. Now I'll start crying because Helen and I were good criers together. After Clyde died, they came back from Germany. And Helen said, I'll let you borrow Wayne anytime you want. She said, he can be your other husband. And we've often joked and been introduced that way. This is Vickie's other husband. And the day of our wedding, Doug's and my wedding, Wayne came up right before we walked down the aisle, and he said, now you don't have to go through with this because I just had a blood test today.
Thank you for filling in for 4 years. Appreciate that opportunity too. I want to just make another acknowledgement and do another kind of emotional soupy thing too. I want to acknowledge Terry Crownover and his wife Sonia, and Joe Rademacher and his wife Tammy, both of my co-workers at Memorial Hospital, and boy, what good folks they are in serving in the role of chaplains. So I appreciate them and their good work. And I want to acknowledge the great gift that Vickie's first husband, Clyde, gave to our family. I told Brian and Christy when we got married that I couldn't replace their dad. I told them that I would make absolutely sure I was there for their mom and for them. And I've tried my hardest to do that. And God's blessings on Clyde and his memory. And we're happy that we can still live in the same house, in the same family, and continue on. One more thing. Yeah, I am a preacher, that's true. We appreciate our photographer. He's here to be able to take pictures. He would like family groupings or that sort of thing to kind of stand here because he wants to take individual pictures, and you can do that as you can. We'd appreciate as many of those small group pictures as we possibly could have. And as far as I'm concerned, that's it. Enjoy your time.
You need to tell who the photographer is. Mom, go ahead and introduce the photographer.
This is one of my other kids. His name is Bill Hazard. This is his wife, Debbie. And Bill was, 3 years older than Brian?
3.
3 years ahead of Brian. He was a track cross-country runner, and Clyde was the coach. And Bill spent a lot of time at our house, and we were glad that he was there a lot. And we're just thankful that we keep in touch every once in a while. We don't do it a whole lot, but we're glad to always see them. And Christy contacted him, and he said he would be happy to be here and take our pictures.
He comes. He